had a few little ones, I removed them. I'm getting a no.
Okay. Do you feel any different now than you did 5 minutes ago?
I feel, my heart is more relaxed. I feel
Okay.
connected, especially my third and fourth chakra area.
Great.
I feel safer. Funny.
Well, you're very in touch with your little micro feelings. You know, a lot of people can't actually spot the difference in themselves. That's what they need to learn to do, is to spot that difference, that little tiny
Right.
difference, you know?
Right.
Like if you're coaching somebody, Barb, that's what you want. Is this first thing you want to train them to do is to spot the difference. Because that means you're curing it. Does removing the cravings cure the addiction?
I get no, but it makes it possible for addiction to be recognized and cured and interacted with. It's like you have to understand what it is, and if you're inside this craving, it's like being in an open trauma all the time. You can't really perceive, you know, in this activity that you're engaging in, and the difference between you're just, I think the typical addict's usually responding to their craving and dealing with the craving, putting out the craving, then, you know, dealing with it again.
Well, you know, a lot of people think addiction is craving, so it's probably important
well, actually, that's a good point.
to say addiction is not craving.
Yeah, you know, I've described addiction that way too, because I've tried to defend using things, and that addiction was you know, being attached, you know, while you know, or not cool how it just comes and goes in your life. But craving is craving. I don't know if that's how you deal with your cravings that separates the, you know, the addict from the non-addict, I think. How you respond to your cravings, and yeah, your core values builds into that too.
Right.
And then your relationship is this thing that you're doing. You know, you've heard people smoke cigarettes and go, "Oh my God, the cigarette's going to kill me," or they're just having a cigarette. And
well, they believe the craving for the cigarette is the addiction.
Right. Or there's something more noble than just suppressing the craving and suffering. Just yourself a cigarette. That was terrible.
Well, it's why addiction goes from one thing to another. You know, I've been a drug addict, a sex addict, an alcoholic, addicted to violence, addicted to control, addicted to, you know, I mean, I could just go on, and I could tell stories about all the things I was, what I did to myself, you know, when I was acting out these addictions. And I always would hit a point where I'd say, no, I can't, you know, this addiction is too awful, I'm not going to do, I would suppress the addiction, and I'd go to another addiction.
Yeah. I just saw myself doing that recently too. Yep.
I mean, I haven't used a drug since 1967. I was taking acid before Jerry Garcia. That's how far back I go. And you know what? I was suicidal. Every time I took acid, I was suicidal.
Yeah, same here. I had that feeling too, and that's why I thought that maybe, but then there would be something that would take me back. I wanted to go see that place, and I'd do it again. People talk about having some experience, whether it was like, these other substances they take that last just 10 minutes, like ayahuasca, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they saw death, and they're like, oh. And I mean, I realized, I did that night after night after night, and I was studying something, and I was seeing if I could do something. And then there was a time when I realized that it needed, I prayed or I intended for assistance to come. I attracted proper assistance to come so I could extract myself from having to do that, or just even from that place. And I realized that there was some work done. I mean, that's, I don't feel...
well, you know...
I don't want to demoralize the substances. I just feel like you have to, a good user would know when to stop or when to say goodbye to it.
Did you know that Kathy, the over-moderator of the Cure Drive, she went to a shaman, I guess it was in Vancouver, she's in Canada, and she took ayahuasca, and I think it lasts hours or all night or something.
Oh, you're thinking about peyote, I think.
No, she was ayahuasca, I believe.
Okay.
And she said it was really a life-changing experience. And, you know, she did it like, it was months ago, and she's never done it again. I made a movie with her just the other day, so I'm in touch with her. But, you know, she really thought it was very useful. And a lot of people said that about LSD. I'm a contemporary of Timothy Leary.
Yeah.
You know, and Art Klepps and Alpert, who became Baba Ram Dass. You know, I was taking acid about the same time that he was dropping off it, you know, and going to India. And, you know, but see, for me, I'm the kind of person who was going to jump off a building. I was. And
you would continue doing it anyway.
Yes, that's the thing. I'm an addict. See,
it's really funny. It's really funny. Different people's chemicals. And then it was like, thank you, you know. And that was it. And other people, that's the same way with other substances or experiences. That's wild.
It's what addicts do, you know. Like I was going to take it until I killed myself, and then I got arrested.
Jim Morrison movie remind me of you. You remind me of Jim Morrison in a way.
I was lucky that I ended up in jail because, and you know, funny thing, when I was in jail, which was in 1967, I was in a psycho ward, you know, with a bunch of other nuts, and there was a junkie in there, and he was saying how terrific it was to not be able to get any dope. That's what he needed too. He needed to go to jail, you know, to have a vacation, because he said, now I can poop. You know?
No, it's true, talking all day, but that's true. Some people need to be managed a little bit.
Well, yes.
You get it.
Anyway, so. But I went from one addiction to another, you know, cigarettes, of course, I was addicted to smoking. And I also smoked, like, you know what beaties are? Yeah, I do that. They're the most poisonous cigarette in the world. And I knew I was going to kill myself with this. And so, you know, that's what addicts do. Addiction is not craving. Addiction is an extremely complex disease that needs extremely complex forms of treatment. And what you and I are going to do in a lot of these, we probably won't always be ever talking about addiction all the time, but we're going to find things for you to remove that cause you to be dysfunctional. And, you know, every time we meet, we'll find different ones. That's what we're going to do. You know, we're going to keep doing that, and you know, this will fine-tune your coaching skills so you'll be better with your clients. What do you think about that?
I love helping. I was just imagining Barb Redson, dysfunctional. Good.
There's your business card.
I'm excited about it. I think this is fabulous.
There's your business card. Yes, dear.
Forward to this. I can help. This is great.
Oh, God.